Under pressure, off his backside, up for grabs, and caught! C.J. Daniels, a tremendous one-handed catch.
This rebooted, refreshed, re-energized Florida State team knocking off number 8 Alabama. The first big field stormer of the year is underway. How good is it to have ball back, folks?
I really don't even think this game is going to be close. Texas's roster is better, and I think Ohio State is going to be hungover from last year.
Not so fast, midget. Not so fast.
Midget?
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast.
Coming up on Off the Hook, college football week 1 did not disappoint. Texas came in as number 1, and they walked out like they forgot their wallet at the bar. Shout out Ohio State. They get the job done in Columbus. That sets the table for opening lines where sports news meets betting reactions. And then we move into last week's Cash It or Trash It. We look at those picks under the microscope. We got the receipts in hand. Let's see how we did. We're going to look ahead college football week 2 lines. Plus NFL Week 1, starting off Thursday night, Eagles-Cowboys, prime time. And then we'll look at the MLB playoff watch, who's hot, who are we going to fade. And then we'll move across the board for deep dive analysis of the biggest matchups across all sports, whether or not they make our card. And finally, we'll close the sports book with Cash It or Trash It, and we'll decide which of those games we just analyzed make the final betting cut. This is Off the Hook, September 4th, 2025.
One of the nominees for best team is the Dallas Cowboys. No, I'm joking. Obviously, Dallas sucks. Go Birds.
This is Off the Hook, the sports show you'd bet on. We start with opening lines, the week's biggest sports stories, and how the betting markets are reacting. And then, Mike, it's last week's Cash It or Trash It. It's time to own up to this shit. We got the receipts, but I don't really know if we want to show them. And then we'll look at the MLB playoff race. And then we're going to move across the board, break down the biggest matchups in college football. And it's week 1, NFL starting tonight. Eagles, Cowboys, prime time, South Philadelphia. Let's go, Birds.
Birds.
And then we're going to close out the books. And we'll give you this week's Cash It or Trash It. And hopefully it'll be better than last week. Let's just jump right into this shit, man. Do we even?
A lot to cover. A lot to cover here with both.
We're gonna
NFL.
We're gonna.
Hey, who's complaining? It's a good time of the year.
This is a good time. This is a good time of year. We're gonna look at the opening lines. We're gonna cut through all the noise, all the bullshit, bring you the biggest headlines across the sports world. I guess we're gonna get all the shit out the way, and start with last week's Cash It or Trash It. This is pretty ugly. It's not 80%.
It's definitely not 80%. 50%. I mean, it could have been worse. Week 1, you have this. It's kind of feeling out period. It's a lot of pushing money across and giving it back and giving it back and coming back to you.
Yeah.
But 50%. Let's be honest. That's like dating your sister. Nobody wants that.
There's some backdoor covers here. Both ways. Some we lost on, some we hit on.
Some were just terrible.
Some were just, what the hell? I don't even know why the hell. Why did I have 14 picks? I think I just got a little too excited for college football and just started taking shit that I normally wouldn't take. But we figured moving forward with this segment to recap either how good or how shitty we did, like in this week. We're going to do our best call, our worst call, and our bet regret, which I think half of the ones I picked are fucking bet regret. But
bet regret, the whole card,
the whole thing,
right?
everything. Mike, out of your list here, what do you say is your best call?
I got to say, best call was probably the Purdue game. I gave you a little analysis on it last week of how it would play out, and it played out exactly as I thought. Purdue wanted to make a statement. They came out and stepped on the gas. Ball State is just terrible.
They are terrible.
Point. It was just a matter of how many Purdue wanted to score. I'll go with that. Would be my best call.
All right.
How about you? What's your best call?
Best call, probably FSU.
I didn't realize you took that. Yeah, that was a great call.
Honestly, I didn't think they'd come out the way that they did and pretty much manhandle Alabama.
I got a little to talk about that game. We'll get into that in the next segment. Should we just talk about that now?
Hey, let's just break it down right now. Shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really like that play too. Only difference is I didn't want to put myself out there and have Florida State come out and put up a goose egg and look like a fool. But yeah, they may be legit. Norvell may have something on his hands here and has that Florida State crowd and community feeling pretty good again.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? I would have never thought this, but Bama might be looking for a new coach halfway through the season if this clown keeps up this shit.
How about it?
Bama's 5-5 in their last 10 games, and he's lost 4 games unranked opponents, and Saban lost 4 games to unranked opponents in his whole tenure at Alabama.
Similar stat here for you. Listen to this. Kalen DeBoer lost 5 times as a double-digit favorite in the last 14 games. 5 times as a double-digit favorite he's lost in the last 14 games. Nick Saban lost 5 times as a double-digit favorite in the last 11 years.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
14 games, 11 years.
He better get his shit together. This isn't the Pacific Northwest. They give a shit about football in Bama. That's all they got down there. Just like Texas. Texas, all they give a shit about is football. They don't care about anything else.
Man, I'd like to believe that Alabama just isn't that good, but I don't think that's the case. I think Alabama's going to be pretty good. I really think Florida State is legit, and they showed that.
Start to finish, they just controlled the game. Did you hear, and I don't know if this is true, because you can't really believe all the shit you read on the internet, but allegedly Castellanos is popping Zins all amped up. Allegedly. I don't know. Nothing wrong with it, but allegedly I guess the whole team was popping Zins. So I don't know. Hey, shit, keep popping Zins all year long. I'll ride that Florida State train. I mean, dude.
Yeah.
And listen, if Florida State plays like that, my Clemson pick to win the ACC could be in trouble. That's all I got to say. Because Florida State might be surprising a lot of people.
Yeah, we'll talk about Clemson too then. So what's your worst bet?
Oh God.
Worst bet.
Well, I got like 7 or 8 here. Probably fucking UCLA. What the hell was I thinking? I thought they'd come out a little bit scrappier, a little bit amped up Saturday night. They're at home. They just were flat. Nico Lava, whatever. Right? That kid's a bust. He's shit.
I can't give you too much shit because Charlotte is an absolute dumpster fire. They got trampled, and the score wasn't even indicative of how bad it was. I mean, they could have lost 60-0. I watched the first 5 minutes of the game, and I could tell you from watching the first 5 minutes of the game that it was over. I knew they weren't getting a stop the whole game. It was pathetic. It was just awful. I won't be betting that Charlotte team for a while at 15.5 this week.
You want to play them against North Carolina? Because that team's shit too. That could be a shit.
I know. I thought about it. I actually did think about it because North Carolina is pretty bad too.
When I asked you for your picks, so I could put the graphic up for this week, I was waiting for your pick to come through and have Charlotte in there as like a redemption pick, thinking how bad Carolina was. Maybe you'd give it a second chance.
Yeah, well, that was close.
I guess we know that's not one of your picks.
No, it definitely is not. Bet regret.
Not giving LSU the credit they deserve. I hate Brian Kelly, but that team is good. That team is good. Real good.
I don't even have to say it. That's definitely my bet regret. I mean, I probably spent a good 5 to 10 minutes talking up LSU, how I thought they had a good chance. They had actual decent shot at being national champions. And then I didn't go and bet them week 1. And it was on my mind the whole week. I wanted to and just never did. So, yeah, that's my bet regret. Let's talk about that Clemson game a little bit. What did you think of LSU? Were you surprised?
I'm still not a fan of Brian Kelly, but that team is good.
He made a bad decision. He just missed it at the end of the first half.
Oh yeah,
it was a 4th down, a 4th and 6, and he threw a 2-yard screen. Or I'm sorry, it was a 3rd and 6. He throws a pass short of the first down. They had no timeouts. if you're getting tackled short of that first down marker, you're still not going to have time to get a field goal kicker out there. I don't know what he was thinking. It's stuff like that kills me about him. He will lose a game for them this year. Being truthful, LSU's defense was their defense up front. They're up front. They were dominant. I think they might have the best quarterback in college football right now. He definitely outplayed Klubnik. And if I learned anything from this game, two things. I learned that LSU is a legit contender and Klubnik's overrated. That's what I learned.
Not only this game, but even looking at Texas, Ohio State, which we can get into, and in the Notre Dame Miami game, dude, there are so many check down passes. I'm like, how many fucking check downs am I going to see? I don't know. I didn't learn shit about either side, Ohio State or Texas. Sark was so vanilla in the play calling. The first pass from Arch Manning looked like dog shit, right? And everything was check down, and then Ohio State saying was okay. But I didn't really learn anything about him to say one way or the other. We knew Ohio State was going to have a good defense. We knew that.
They're still out.
We knew that. Now it's like, okay, so where do we go from here? They'll still beat Penn State.
I did learn a couple things, and I took a couple notes of what I did learn. One is I owe Matt Patricia and his family an apology because he actually looked better than I thought. He had that defense prepared.
He did.
I talked shit on him a little bit, so I'll take that back. He was better than expected. I also learned that Texas still can't score in the red zone. That I learned. I already knew it, but it was just confirmed. And that, Manning, outside of home, we haven't really seen him do much on the road, and that still is the case. Like, he looks shaky. Do you know that Texas, I love that they do this stat now. They have that post-game win expectancy stat. Yeah. And Texas was at 80% post-game win expectancy. Ohio State had the smallest win expectancy of all winners in college football.
That line movement the last 24 hours of that game was insane.
Yeah.
It was just all over the place. Manning, look, these knuckleheads that were giving him the Heisman before the season even kicked off, like Paul Feinbaum, that guy's a fucking clown. That kid didn't even play. I don't know what, like here in PA, like a 4A school is like a top level. I don't know if they have 4A down there. He played at some like small private rich boy school. So he wasn't facing the best competition necessarily in that state. And last year he came in with really no pressure. Like, you knew that Ewers was going to be your guy. He was just hurt.
Yeah.
So he came in at home, no pressure, and looked great. And then now this year, when the pressure's there, it's
yeah, he's living off the name. You're gonna have it. Time will tell whether he could fill those shoes or not.
I can tell you as of now, if we do a bet regret, I regret picking Texas to win the fucking SEC. Even though I picked Georgia to win the whole thing, but
Texas defense is the best defense in college football. They're good. Then they're only going to get better.
Yeah.
They need to get things going with Manning.
He's got to look better this week. If he comes out and plays bad, the same vanilla play calling that Sark came up with, that's not good. That's not, because then that's in his head at that point.
You catch any of the Miami Notre Dame game?
I did. Yeah. That was a great game.
What an evenly matched college football game. You can't ask for it was the teams were so comparable. Notre Dame had 314 yards total yards. Miami had 324. Notre Dame had 17 first downs. Miami had 19. It was just a well-played football game. It was enjoyable to watch.
It sucked the way it ended with Carr and the clock running out. Miami defense almost blew it again. Same shit as last year, but they got lucky. Really blame Freeman too much for that. I think it's collectively a mistake with a freshman quarterback.
Those are mistakes you can make as a freshman.
And it's like you and I talked about last week when we said this game or the Ohio State-Texas game, if whoever the loser is, you had 3 great games. 4, really, if you count the Florida State-Bama game. Bama losing could hurt them, but, if whoever lost these other 3 games, their season isn't over. They just got to rebound. So Notre Dame They're going to rebound. They're going to be fine. This is where ESPN is annoying. Dude, Joe Tessitore, I wanted to turn my TV all the way down. That guy sounded like he was going to have an aneurysm. Every play.
Yeah.
It'd be like a holding penalty. Holding penalty! Oh, my God, dude.
No.
Every play was excitement. Like you never saw a college football game before. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah, the game's exciting enough. You don't need to add to it. I think he thinks he needs to make the game somehow by putting his twist on it.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah, so one thing I do want to mention, I'm not going to butcher the guy's name, but I'll tell you who got a good quarterback on their hands. The freshman quarterback from Cal. Man, he can sling it. That kid is good. He is good. He's going to be fun to watch. Man, I didn't see the game, but I saw highlights, and that kid can throw that ball, man. He spins it.
Yeah,
his name Sagapalute, but he's legit. He's legit.
Not to go back to the Texas game and Arch Manning, but speaking of slinging it, what the fuck was with all these sidearm passes, dude?
Yeah, there was a time in the game I was watching, I thought that exact same thing. Everybody's trying to be Mahomes. That's what it seems like.
What is happening? What are you doing?
Before we get off of the games played last week in college football, there was one other takeaway I got from this. The unders in games that had a favorite of 20 or more were 30 and 15. So if the game had a spread of 20 or more points, so any big favorites,
right?
They came in 30 to 15 in favor of the unders.
Wow.
So
usually it's the other way.
Usually you have a big favorite, you're expecting they're going to blow them out. And, the problem is if they blow the team out and they stay right around that line and hold the other team to that many points, I guess you're going to hit the under most of the times. But yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't on any of those.
Yeah, me either. Although we want to talk about shit games, whoever at ESPN made a decision to put TCU in on a Labor Day at 8:00 in prime time, and other games should be fired. TCU almost got the over by themselves. Dude, what are we doing? How is that primetime game on Labor Day? The only two things there's three things of how bad that game was. TCU scoring 41 unanswered points. North Carolina going over 2 hours without completing a pass. And I don't know if you saw the last 2 minutes of the game. The game was so bad that Kirk Herbstreit brought his dog on and put a headset on the dog and said, "You call the last 2 minutes." He didn't want to call it. He's like, "Get me the hell out of here."
Yeah, the dog probably left too. The dog probably turned it off like I did. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Cute dog, though.
Yeah, it's a cute dog.
Anything else in week one?
Yeah, Mike, so a couple more things left here for college football takeaway. This clip is like a week or two old since you played college athletics. And I don't know if you saw it or not, but from this guy's position, what he says about NIL, and then we can I'll play the clip, and then we can break this down.
That's the NIU coach, right?
Yeah. I wanted to get your take as, like I said, as a college athlete and what it was when you played, and then this guy, on his pedestal talking about the
I told our team the other day, we lost all these guys. Let's see who plays. So it's all good when people put it on Twitter, hey, all glory to God, I'm going in the transfer portal. Let's see if they play. How many other guys going to play or travel or get snaps? I was going to tweet something the other day, a picture of me, and say, you know what? I enjoyed my college experience. I didn't get one dime, but the lessons I learned was more valuable than any money you can ever pay me. And I appreciate that because that is long term. People are losing the fact that this is short term. I coached in the National Football League for 5 years.
Good for you.
5 years, right? Yeah. Don't lose focus of what the long term. Get your degree, learn valuable lessons that's going to help you in the long term of your life. That's the whole purpose. This is a transition from being a kid to a grown-up. And I hope people don't lose focus of that. Everybody's talking about everything else besides what is the most important thing for going to college. Because if you're going to college to go get a couple of dollars, you might as well go get a job. This is too hard to go get a couple dollars. Learn the lesson that you need to learn to be successful in life for the next 40 to 50 years of your life. I would do it again for free, because of the things I learned. That's why I'm standing here today, because of what I learned in college, not because of how much somebody gave me. That's what I would tell people. And parents, they need to learn that lesson too. Stop trying to live through your kids. Go teach your kids what are the things they need to learn to be successful. That's what I'm telling my kids. I don't care about no NIL, no revenue share. I can care less. You need to learn things in college to get you prepared for life, to be a father, a husband, to work, everything else. Those are the most important things. That's what people are missing, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
Mike, so as a former college athlete, what do you think of that rant?
So, stepping aside from the whole college athlete at this point, I want to say that I think there's some things in there that he said that are true, and I think he really means it. And, you know, it's a good way to look at things, but it's just not the right platform for him to say it. I mean, this is coming from a guy who's a coach of a college football team. Out of 125 reported salaries in college football, you know, he's not at the very 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's at the 113th best paid college football coach. I saw last year he made $708,000 a year, but still $708,000 a year. And he's preaching to these kids about, I don't care about NIL money. I don't care about this. What he doesn't understand is I'm not going to say all, but most of these kids come from low income families. And this is their only opportunity to make some money off of their God-given talents and the things that they've worked so hard for over the past 10, 12, 15 years of their lives. It's an opportunity for them to make money and still enjoy all those things that he talked about in the college experience. So I disagree with him there. I can understand where he's coming from, but NIL is there for a reason. These schools, Tom, the Big Ten last year made $928 million on their football program. The FBS schools exceeded $20 million. So these schools, they are making money off of these college athletes.
Right.
You can't expect the college athlete not to want a piece of that. And I think they deservingly should get a piece of
Absolutely.
that. I don't know where the answer is, because I agree that it gets carried away sometime. I just know, as a Division III college basketball player, and things have changed. I mean, I'm sure these kids don't have any time to work any type of job whatsoever right now. I know you had our 2 practices a day most of the times. Then you had study group that you went to with your team. You ate as a team. You had AM and PM meetings. Like, your day, there's nothing left in your day to do anything. There's no chance for you to make money. So, like, and I can imagine as a Division I athlete, that's even multiplied by 10. So I can understand why these kids are transferring and looking at schools that are offering more to them. I really can't blame them, and they want to do best for their families. So, yeah, I'd have to say I disagree.
I don't think it was the right platform. Some of the things I do agree with. I didn't play college athletics, but just going back to Temple, was there for 3 years and then finished at Penn State. But, you know, living in North Philly and just the culture and the life experience that you learn, you know, you can learn it as a student athlete as well. You're not going to get that time back. So, you know, if kids are only in college for a year or two, are they missing out? Maybe, maybe not, because things have changed since you and I have been in college. But I did learn a lot of life skills and life things. And those are kind of like your formative years, right? And you don't need to go to college. Some people don't go to college. That's fine. But if you do go to college, the education system changed, and that's a whole other debate. But that just being around different kids from different backgrounds in different parts of the country, or international students, you learn a lot about culture and things that you won't get stuck in your hometown, right? College athletics, I remember back at Temple and, you know, just seeing when Cheney was coaching, that's how long ago I was at Temple. But I mean, those kids were in the gym at 5:30. And then they go to class, and then they practice in the afternoon. They have study hall. You'd see them in the cafeteria eating together. Same thing with the football. I mean, and it wasn't, now it's like a full-time job. You know, those kids couldn't work back then, and they sure as shit can't work now. And he's right that these kids, a lot of them won't go pro, right? Because it's so hard. So it's even more of a reason for these kids to cash out. When you gave the numbers of what these conferences are making on these kids, and these kids aren't getting a dime, how is a kid from a poor socioeconomic background, how are his parents or his single mom or single dad supposed to give him money? I mean, he's got a scholarship, but that's covering room and board and tuition. It's not covering everyday expenses. You got to eat, right? So there's things that you need.
Yeah, this is their only opportunity. Not going to NFL even adds to our argument. This is their only opportunity to make this money. They won't get this again. Right. And my guess is that Mr. Tom Hammock there wouldn't be having this argument and wouldn't be saying this stuff if he was on coaching a team that was getting these transfers, not losing them, right? Yeah. It's the fact that his school isn't putting the NIL money out to attract these. That's what he's bitter about. That's really what he's bitter about, not the kids that are leaving. If
he had the boosters of any SEC school, would he be sitting there talking about that a couple weeks ago? No, because he'd be getting kids and he wouldn't give a shit. And he'd be getting paid a hell of a lot more money. So it's like he's almost like, hey, give me some money so I can go get some kids and be competitive. Well, you signed up for the job, pal. Yeah. It's like the Temple football program. You know what you signed up for when you go there. Right. You're not getting the top recruits in the country because they're all going elsewhere. The best kid in the tri-state area isn't going to Temple. Probably going to a top 25 school. I mean, it's just, what you're getting. I agree with some of it. But
don't want to beat a dead horse about it, but I mean.
The only thing I have a problem with the NIL is it's almost like, I don't want to use the term salary cap, but it's just like there's no limit. And I feel like there's got to be a cap somewhere because it's going to get out of control. And then the integrity of college athletics, like I don't care if the kid leaves after a year because there's other kids that are coming up. I get it makes it harder for a coach to put a team together. But from a money standpoint, it's like there's going to be a big separation of schools like Northern Illinois and these top 20. And it's going to be this big gap, right? And then
it's still fairly new. I think in the years to come, there's going to be some fine tuning. And I think, trial and error, they're going to be able to work some kinks out and make it so it doesn't ruin the integrity of the game.
Right. I'd say within the next 5 years or so, we're going to see changes to it. But these kids deserve to get paid.
You know what I just realized? We got through or almost through the whole NCAA football news and topics without even saying anything about Penn State football. Did we make it through without talking about big game James?
Big game James. This could be a weekly rip and rant segment on James Franklin. This fucking clown.
Do we have something?
I have something for you.
Better freaking believe we do.
This guy is unbelievable.
You're goddamn right we do.
This guy. Where do you see this gem, Mike? And I want to get your reaction on this guy. All right, so we have 2 short clips of Big Game James here. Play this one first. Roll into the second one. And then, Mike, you can give some backstory on this. Because you actually told me about this because I refuse to watch these fucking clowns.
I don't know if I would describe it as struggle, but the reality was I told Andy to call a couple plays that wouldn't convert so we could work on our field. Again, I get it. If there's an area that we need to improve, we stalled out a few times. I don't want to give you the coach answer that you guys hate, which is I got to watch the tape to decide. But obviously, we didn't execute down there. And we need to do that. I thought our run game, especially our outside zone stuff, could have been better. But, we stalled out there. Now, exactly why, I don't have that answer for you right now. I will on Tuesday or Wednesday whenever we get together. If you're going to critique, that's an area that deserves to be critiqued. I just don't have the answer for you right now. But again, I do think the blessing in disguise, we got 4 for 4 on field goal, and that's going to be the next 4.
That's awesome. 4 for 4 on field goal. That's awesome. Here's part 2.
He's a fucking idiot if he doesn't think that we don't think that he knows the spread. I think he thinks we're dumb.
Before I play, so they played Nevada. They got FIU this week, and then they got Villanova That is a hell of a non-conference schedule. Villanova is the best non-conference team that they play. Here we go. Part 2, James Franklin.
Right after the game.
This is good.
You're full of shit.
This is the end of the game. Just blew him out.
End of the game, telling the ref he's full of shit. Now, granted, they're up 40-some fucking points. No. Well, actually.
He's still at it. Look at him.
Scored.
Still at it.
Still after these guys.
Are you saying it right now? Everything's in
Bullshit. That's enough of this fucking guy.
We need to have a new segment in this show. We have to do the clown of the week. And maybe we get a picture of whoever the clown is and we get a clown hat and we somehow put it on them and we put that up on the screen. And I think he should be #1 clown of the week because he's a clown, no doubt.
He's going to be the clown. He's going to be the clown of the week for the whole college football season.
For people who didn't follow this game, the line at kickoff came down to about 42.5. So Penn State drove 95 yards to go up 43 points to cover, towards the end of the game. They get the ball back. They're covering with 2 minutes to go. It's a 4th down. And instead of punting, this moron decides to go for it. James Franklin decides to go for it. You're up 43 points, and he's going for it. If he punts, Nevada gets the ball back, and they're going to run the ball 3 times up the middle, and the clock's going to run out because they showed that's what they did on their last possession. They wanted to get out of here too at this point. They're getting crushed. So he punts it, PSU covers, it's over. But instead, this pompous, arrogant fool goes for it on 4th down, and he doesn't get it. So Nevada now at this point is a little ticked off that he decided to go for it on 4th down because who the fuck does that up 43 points? So Nevada gets a little, fire lit under their ass, and they get the ball back, and they go on a 50-yard drive with 90 seconds to go, and they score a touchdown and get the 2-point conversion. So they covered the spread at the very end of the game. To make matters worse, they covered the spread, and to get down into the red zone, there was a pass interference call with 35 seconds left that kind of put them into position to score that final touchdown. And that's what set James Franklin off. That's what started his rant. Instead of being up 43 points and not caring about the spread and just saying, yeah, well, it's a 15-yard pass interference that didn't change the outcome of the game, this idiot goes on this rant, and you can see how important it is for him to cover the spread. That just solidifies our argument that this guy knows what the line is, yep, and he is doing his best to cover that line every game. So just beware PSU bettors, and when you bet against him, he is giving it his all until that last second ticks off that clock to cover the spread. And he doesn't care about the mercy of the weak or the underdogs. He doesn't give a fuck, that fool.
And I think I figured out the clown hat. We'll get a graphic for the next show. And starting with the next show, which, by the way, we still don't have a sponsor for this program. DraftKings still has not reached out to us after your little rant. I think they said, fuck you guys. You guys are clowns. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they will either. Maybe we can get Caesars to jump on board because DraftKings is just trash, but we're still looking for a sponsor, by the way. But maybe they can sponsor the clown segment of this. So I think the idea is we'll get a picture of Franklin, we'll make him into a clown, and then we will go, you and I will pick the weekly James Franklin Clown Award for the dumbest. It could be a player or a coach or whoever. It could be, we can open up the floor to anything. It could be even be outside of sports.
Shout out to my MVP, my sportsbook rep at Caesars, Mervin Montoya. He said he was going to stop in and check out the podcast.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully he does.
Nice.
If you do, Mervin, a nice shout out here for you. I appreciate everything you do for me. My #1 sportsbook, Caesars. They take care of me.
If you are checking out the podcast, do not play any of my fucking picks.
No, he knows. He probably takes the opposite of mine. He's probably rich.
We'll do weekly piece. We'll just do a quick blurb of the bonehead or stupid play or whatever of the week, and it'll be the James Franklin Award. because that guy is an idiot. They make me want to burn my degree. I feel like it's a worthless piece of paper at this point. It's like a cult, and everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid.
I'll hate him even more because I'll bet on him at one point this year, and they'll burn me, and then my hatred will be even run.
And then you will get the James Franklin Clown Award.
I will.
We will get that for next show. Speaking of that real quick, and then we can move on to some other stuff in opening lines here. So Penn State, they're a fraud at number 2. There's no way that they're better than LSU or Georgia or Miami or Oregon or one loss Texas or one loss Clemson or one loss Notre Dame or even South Carolina.
No, they're definitely better in South Carolina.
Okay, maybe so. Yeah. It's not because of him, though. It's because they got shit lucky with the kids.
Yeah.
That's enough about Penn State. They take up too much time in this program. But they're the latest college football rankings for those who care. The coaches poll doesn't mean shit. So this is the AP poll.
As a typical week 2 in college football or official week 1, we're not going to get too many good top 25 games this week. We were really lucky to have those good games last week. Yeah, we were spoiled.
I
don't even know what is the best matchup in the top 25 this week.
Oh, we will get to that in across the board, or at least my opinion of one of the best matchups this week in college football. Real quick, Mike, some more opening lines stuff here. Major League Baseball, Philly's still making some news here, and I love this move, signing Walker Buehler. That's fantastic. Yeah. I love that move.
Yeah, so the jury is out. I don't know if he's washed up like people think. I know he's not the Walker of old, but even if we get a percentage of what he was, I think the Phillies could use him in a certain role, and I think he could be helpful in a playoff run here.
I know the Red Sox had the best record since August 1st. I think they gave up on Walker Buehler a little too soon.
Maybe.
What he did, I was always a fan of him, and even more so last year when I thought the Dodgers used him perfect out of the bullpen. He started to hit his stride, get his velocity back in the Mets series, and then ultimately closed out the World Series for him. I think the Phillies use him that way. I don't know if he's a starter, but I feel like he's a good middle, late reliever from the Phillies, and he brings energy. He's fiery.
Yeah,
that'll
be their intentions.
He's still got some speed left on his fastball. I like that because they're going to have to hit their way through the playoffs. And last I checked, they're still plus 600 to win the World Series.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good number.
Yeah, he's not coming over here and, changing the line or anything, but he definitely could be helpful.
Yeah.
Bolster the bullpen a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd like to pick up.
What do you think, Schwarber, MVP?
So if you're not a Phillies fan, I think you still like the guy, right? I mean, he's a blue-collar, hard worker, a guy. He's not a show-off. Like, I think he's the kind of guy that you like. So I think maybe, he gets some votes just for that alone. He would have my vote. I mean, he's coming on strong when it counts. Let's see if he could carry this, a few weeks into the playoffs.
You think he's stuck on 49? You think he gets to 60?
I don't know. That's tough.
It is tough.
That's tough.
He needs a couple, like 3-4. He needs a couple multi-homer
games. He needs
a
multi-homer games. I don't think he gets there, but
55 maybe.
Yeah,
six more is doable. Thinking. Like mid-50s, maybe. I mean, he's still right now. Ohtani's got 46. Just looking at home runs.
He's going to have many MVPs by the time he's done.
Speaking of home run talk, what I thought was interesting, Aaron Judge is tied. I think he's still tied right now, but he's got 358 runs as a Yankee, and he's tied with Yogi Berra, but he did it in like half the time. I didn't think he hit that. I looked at that number. I was like, wow. But, yeah, I'd like to see Schwarber. It'd be nice if he won MVP. They're going to need him. They're going to need him in the playoffs. They're going to need the hit, that's for sure. But they can definitely do it.
They can. I just worry that he started this streak too early. Get on these streaks and then you cool off. And listen, MLB playoffs is all about timing. It's which team gets on that streak.
Yeah,
I just hope they could carry it through.
Yeah, if you would have waited a couple of weeks, mid to end September, that would have been a lot better.
Exactly what I was thinking.
A lot better. Maybe you should do it. Florida State team to pop a couple extra zinnies and
let's do it. Get fired up.
Get them going. But they might not at this rate. They might not even have to worry about the Dodgers. The Dodgers just might play themselves right out of the playoffs at this point. Still like plus 360 win the World Series. That's a way low number. Anything else on Major League Baseball? I mean, we can get more into that in a couple weeks as the season,
as we get into the
season winds.
Weeks here, we'll have more to go.
I think it's time we move across the board, and we'll look at the biggest matchups this week across the sports world. Even if we don't have any action on these games, we're going to give you the top matchups this week and give you some analysis, and that'll tee it up for us to give you our picks this week based on the analysis that we're about to give you here. Looking across the board, let's just go keep the college football train moving. I got a few games I was looking at this week, and you had asked about what do you think is, because it's almost like we have a letdown this week from the 3 or 4 big games from last week, and now moving to this week, and it's kind of like, all right. One that I was looking at, Oklahoma and Michigan.
That should be competitive.
That's what I was thinking. And here's just some takeaways that I have for that game. I'm taking Michigan plus 4.5. Now, some books have it at 5.5. I don't think you're getting a 6 anywhere. I didn't see a 6. I've seen anywhere from 4.5, 5.5. But I got Michigan getting 4.5. So, a couple things. Since 2020, Michigan is 4-1 against the spread as an away dog. They won 3 of those. They won outright. I mean, I didn't learn a lot last week looking at that game against New Mexico. Their defense is what I thought it would be. They have solid defense. Quarterback is a freshman, but they didn't really put him in any spots to make mistakes. So the one thing, though, it is interesting. Their veteran linebacker is suspended for the first half of this game because he got penalized for targeting last week. So he is sitting out the first half. I think, like Michigan here, and Venables, in his 3 years at Oklahoma, where the spread is less than 7 points, regardless of if they're a favorite or a dog, he's 3-10 against the spread. I'm not playing it. I'm taking Michigan in the 4.5, but another one you might want to consider would be under 46. I've seen it 45.5, 46. I'm a tier. He's a good dual threat quarterback for Oklahoma, but I don't think he's faced a defense like Michigan. So I don't know.
I would be right along there with you. The only thing that scares me is I didn't think New Mexico was going to put up 17 points.
I didn't either.
I thought they might score 10. And the more concerning thing is they gave up 21 first downs to New Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. That defense did give up 21 first downs. So they're definitely going to have to clean it up a little bit against Oklahoma if they want to win that game and come out with the cover. I'll be cheering for you.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens here. Another one I noted, I just thought this was interesting, some of the stats I found. Missouri, Kansas, the border war. So that game hasn't been played since 2011, and it's the first time it's being played in Columbia since 2000.
That's the last time they played, 2011.
Well, 2011, really? And the first time in Columbia since 2006.
Wow. Right?
Missouri, I feel up and down the roster, both sides of the ball, they're better than Kansas. And this is interesting, some stuff on Missouri, which I know their schedule's a little.
Didn't their QB get hurt? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm thinking about another team. I thought maybe Missouri's quarterback got hurt. That's something I have to look at.
I don't think I have to look at it. I don't think so.
That could be fake news.
We are not a fake news network here. We only spit facts here. Straight facts, homie. But
that could be fake news.
It could
be. Maybe I heard that when I was in China. All right, enough of my Trump stuff. Let's move on.
So Missouri's schedule this year it's not one of the toughest schedules, but the last 2 years in SEC play, Missouri straight up, last 2 years, SEC play is 11-5, and only 2 schools have a better record in the SEC. It's Georgia and Bama. And Missouri has the same record as Ole Miss and LSU in those last 2 years in SEC play. And they're 19-9-1 against the spread since late 2022. And a little trivia. Do you know who they added on defense?
No.
I didn't know this either. So I looked it up. Josiah
Lawrence Taylor.
Josiah Trotter, Jeremiah Trotter's kid. He transferred from West Virginia. He had 92 tackles last year and was a Big 12 Defensive Freshman of the Year. So they added him to the defense. Their defense over the last 27 games, they allowed an average of 20.1 points per game. I think that could be a pretty good game.
You'll see Trotter for the Eagles playing quite a bit on Thursday night.
Yeah, I didn't know he had a younger kid, so.
I didn't either. I wonder if he's a bit undersized, too, for the linebacker position.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know his son on the Eagles, a little undersized.
He is a little undersized.
He makes up for it in effort and heart.
Yeah, he does. He does. He definitely has heart. Definitely a scrappy player, for sure. Any other games, college?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the slate here, like you're looking at Georgia playing Austin Peay. I think some other games, you got Florida playing South Florida, which, that actually might be a competitive game. I think it's around 17.5 now. People might be a little too quick to jump on that South Florida train now. I think that's the obvious bet, right? To jump on that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Florida covers that.
I was thinking
that was close to being one of my plays, to be the contrarian there, because I think you're going to see a lot of South Florida action as we get closer to Saturday.
I think so too. And I saw that, and I'm like, I bet when I saw that large number, I'm like, I bet people are going to jump on that. And then,
right, what was your first impression? Like, wow, 17.5, I'll take that. Right?
And then I stepped back for a second, like, you know what? They had their Super Bowl last week, right? All the hype against. Florida's going to be better than last year. They're not going to be as bad as they were last year. I believe it's in Gainesville. It's not on a neutral site. So that's a tough environment to go into. Florida wants to come out and make a statement. And what a better way than South Florida? Because like you said, people are going to look at that line. Oh, it's 17 and a half. I'm going to jump on it. I think
that's one of my biggest angles that I play is the letdown fairy coming off a big win.
Yep.
So hard. Like, listen, if you haven't played sports and in a competitive environment, it's tough to understand this, but there's a lot that goes into psychologically getting yourself ready to play a game. And it is so hard when you get yourself ready to play a big game and you have that game and you win that game to get yourself up to that same mentality to go in and do the same thing the following week. Naturally have letdowns, and I like playing that angle, and I'm almost talking myself into this Florida game right now, but
it's almost it's the same way as a trap game, right? You got some sister of the poor school coming in, and then you got like Georgia,
big game on deck.
Georgia kind of like, we're just in the spread's like 40, and the only guy who would cover was Big Game James, who's going to run it up anyway. Other schools wouldn't cover because they're looking ahead. They'll win, but they ain't going to cover a large spread like that.
Yeah. Other games I'm looking at, you got Ohio State, number 1. They're playing Grambling State. There's nothing to see there. The Ducks, they are playing Oklahoma State, and typically in the past that would be somewhat of a competitive game, but not this year. I think that line is 20.
Did you see what Gundy said?
No.
I don't have a clip of that, but in a nutshell, he went on a rant. He is the best. Which there's a commercial coming out. He recreated that "I'm 40, I'm a man" rant for some commercial.
Man.
Yeah. So
take it out on me, I'm a man.
So I guess after he went in recreated the commercial rant of the speech from years ago, he went on a rant about Lanning and how they're spending all this money for these players and basically ripped Oregon. Dude, you're gonna get blown the fuck out now.
Yeah,
I thought about taking the 28.5 or 28 wherever it was at, thinking, well, he'll at least keep them competitive and they'll cover. But then after I saw that rant, I'm like, fucking Oregon, just hammer Oregon laying the 28.5. Because they're just, Lanning's just going to be like, yeah, screw you, dude. I'm going to run this shit up. I got the only other game I was looking at, just because I think it's kind of interesting looking back to last year, is the Ole Miss Kentucky game. I like Lane Kiffin. It's like a revenge game, right? They shouldn't have lost to Kentucky last year. They shit the bed. They missed the playoffs. They had a good Ole Miss team. They lost some guys, but Kentucky is horrible. I mean, Toledo got the backdoor cover, thank God, last week. I feel like he's going to make a statement there and run this shit up just because he's pissed from last year and then losing. The only reason I think that game could be interesting, I just like Lane Kiffin. I just think I always liked him as a coach.
Yeah, actually, since you mentioned that, I do have a play on that game. I am going to take the over in that game, over 53.5. That's what it was when I placed the bet. I think it's still in that ballpark. Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I got burnt by the Lane Kiffin train last week. I thought maybe he'd call off the dogs, but he just kept piling it on. I
thought so too. I thought he'd kind of just be kind of vanilla and not really show anything because he wanted to run it up against Kentucky.
Well, that was my thought, right? You got Kentucky on deck. You get a decent size. That was all part of my handicap, right? You get a decent lead. You pull your guys out, right. let them get some rest before a big, Kentucky game next week. No, that's not what he decided to do. I just hope he carries that same mentality over. My thought is maybe he has that same mentality through the whole year. We're not going to beat anybody by a couple of points. We're gonna make a statement all year long and try to rub it in people's faces and just pound them. So I'm going with the over here. I think Kentucky could put some points on the board too against Mississippi. I just think 53.5. I think it's going to get there.
That's why I love college football, because these coaches just won't let up. As much as I like watching the NFL, these coaches just won't let off the gas. And if you suck, you suck, and you're going to figure out that you suck real fast.
There's no participation trophies here. You get pounded, It's college football.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have anything else for college. If you don't have anything else, we can start getting in and break down these NFL games. Week 1, I think we just kick off tonight. Eagles, Cowboys, South Philly. How drunk are these people going to be when this game kicks off here in a couple hours?
It is going to be a great environment. It's going to be one to watch. It should be entertaining. I mean,
and this line too. This line's all over the fucking place. It got to 9 at some books now. It's 8,
I thought 8.5, 9. It sounds right to me though. I mean, when you look at the talent on both sides of the ball, I think the Eagles are just flat out more talented team, and then you take coaching into it. As much as I think. Listen, if I didn't like the Eagles, I wouldn't like Sirianni. I could, he's out there and he rubs it in your face and he rubs people the wrong way. I get it. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm glad he is my coach, because I would be saying all kinds of shit about him. But
it's like a flower. You got to water it and nurture
it. Yeah. Dog mentality. But since he is my coach on my side, I will admit I didn't know how much of a good coach he was, and I've come to admit the fact that I think he does a good job, and he gets his players to play for him. So I think we have the edge in coaching there. I don't see a way that Dallas wins unless this Eagles defense is not what I think it's going to be. I don't think the Eagles defense is going to be great this year. A little better than average, but the offense should be good enough to win any game. And the defense just has to do a somewhat average job. That's my thought.
Yeah, I think they take a step back on defense this year. Not much. It's going to be the offense is going to have to keep them in games and score to win, because they're going to give up some more points there on the defensive side. They don't really have – they're kind of thin on the bench too, and can't afford to have guys get injured. Eagles win the coaching, both sides of the ball. Eberflus, the guy couldn't coach his way to wins in Chicago. I think he's a fraud. The whole Micah Parsons thing, which he doesn't even deserve.
That certainly hurts the Cowboys. Right. I mean, he was their pass rush threat, so that's a plus.
70-80% of NFL games are under a touchdown. The Eagles don't cover whatever you get it at 8, 8.5, 7, 7.5. They don't cover that number. I think it's some backdoor cover at the end or some trash touchdown.
Listen, I'm not betting taking the Eagles. I'll tell you that right now. But I'm not here saying that I think the other side is a great bet either. I mean, honestly, if I had to take it, I'd probably take Dallas and the points. I could very easily see it being a 6-7 point game. But I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this one because it should be a great opener.
Should be good.
Electric crowd, yeah.
And if we lose the Dallas, which Cowboy fans, that
Yeah.
will be entertaining. Not a Stephen A. Smith fan. I can take him in small doses, but I love when the Cowboys lose. It's priceless.
I know.
I just love it. I don't care who they're playing. I just immediately go to his social media page after the game to see him just.
The best is when him and Skip Bayless were still doing that talk show together because he used to get all over Skip because Skip was such a Cowboys fan. That was entertaining.
Oh, and the one that sticks out is he came in with the cowboy hat smoking a cigar.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, that was good.
It's a great football Thursday night, and then we follow up the next night with Kansas City. Against the Chargers.
The only thing wrong with that is it's in Brazil again.
Yeah. I think we both have a play on that.
Round for
I believe we have the same side.
Yeah, we'll reveal that. Now that is allegedly that's free on YouTube, and that TV deal. Even if you don't have YouTube TV, they're offering it free, I guess, to try to get subscribers.
Okay.
And maybe because they did sign a deal. I don't know. They didn't disclose the terms. They just said that they got an agreement. So YouTube TV and Fox and all that. So if you got YouTube,
is that the only place where you could see that game?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is that. I'm going to try to find. There was some guy did a video, like a quick rant, and he had a background or side by side of a picture, like of all the streaming services that you need to watch NFL games. Dude, it's fucking ridiculous. It was like this laundry list, and the guy goes on a rant because he's like, what the hell's wrong with the NFL? He's like, I got to buy all these streaming services to watch these games. But allegedly this one is free. So I know there's more games on YouTube throughout the year, but this one's supposed to be free. If not, you got some kind of you got some kind of thing Jimmy rigged that week. I'll be at your house watching.
I get a lot of these Canadian channels, so it'll be on regular.
Oh yeah, they'll have it.
Regular Canadian channels.
One thing I found interesting: Jim Harbaugh is 5-0 against the spread in season openers.
Wow.
So I feel the Chiefs are a letdown this year. I don't really have much on it. Another one for the Ravens Bills game. Lions Packers is the 4:25 Sunday game schedule. I mean, Lions Packers would make a great. Yeah. But we get them Sunday 4:25 Fox. Golf 8-0 in season openers against spread. I think it was a lot. I think did you see? Did it go to 3 or is it still 2.5?
2.5. I actually took the Packers money line at plus 118 about a week and a half ago. And for the sake of the podcast, I even took some Packers minus the 2.5 as well, because I didn't want to put out there a money line where nobody could get it anymore. So I made another bet as well.
What a nice guy, caring about the three people that
I don't want to be that guy that puts out bets and he puts out the bets after he already has it in a week earlier and he knows we can't get that money line anymore. That's why you do your homework.
We only have 3 people that listen and no sponsors. It's okay.
That's true. That's true. Nobody's betting these fucking games. What am I talking about? I probably have my fucking mom watching it and betting the opposite of what I am, fucking making money. What a joke.
Yeah. All right, Lions Packers. Then we move on. The Sunday night game. This also could have been the Monday night game. Ravens Bills in Buffalo. I think that's down. I think I saw it down to like a pick'em.
Yeah, that's one I'm just going to sit back and enjoy and watch. Have no side on that.
John Harbaugh 12-5 against spread season openers.
Yeah, yeah.
The Harbaugh brothers 17-5 against spread and season openers. I don't know. That's going to be a good game. Yeah. That's
week 1. In NFL, I don't like to get too crazy. I like to sit back, watch, see what teams got, see how they're going to do things, and then you have a pretty good idea of what you're dealing with on week 2.
Yeah, because you don't know. These teams start out slow.
Tread lightly with the wagers on week 1 of the NFL.
Yeah, especially the Chargers-Chiefs game. That's in Brazil. The travel. It's a neutral field. That's a soccer stadium they play at, so that track's probably a mess.
Yeah. Naturally have a bunch of Kansas City fans there because they're the more popular team, so you're going to have more fans cheering for KC there. Not enough to give them an edge, but I'm all over that Chargers game.
Yeah.
I might bet the mortgage on it, actually.
And then we got Vikings-Bears Monday night. Does anybody even care if you don't live in Chicago or Minnesota? I really don't give a shit. I mean,
I'll care because I'll have money on that game. That's the only reason I'll care.
We'll see what pretty boy Caleb Williams, what color his fingernails are going to be, and if he can complete a pass, and if Ben Johnson is an offensive genius, or if he's going to fizzle out like everybody else in Chicago.
I think you're going to see Caleb. I think you're going to see Caleb have a good year. I think you're going to see his true gifted talents this year. I hope so, because when he's on, he's fun to watch. I just hope they unleash him and let him, use his talents instead of, I don't know what the hell they were doing with him last year, but he just didn't look himself, looked all out of sorts.
I mean, they do have better coaching staff, so I'll give them that. This might be the best coaching staff they've put together since the 85 Bears team. So in 40 years, I would like to see them do something. I would like to see Ben Johnson do something. Again, it's the Bears. But it'd be nice if they get a win on Monday night. And I don't have anything else.
Picks are burning a hole in my pocket, man.
So that wraps up across the board. We're just going to go right into closing lines and look at our picks of the week. We do that with Cash It or Trash It. That's our weekly picks segment. That's now, again, as we stressed before, shop for the best line. What we're going to post is what we got. You might not get these numbers, which is why it's important to shop and get in on it early, especially, this podcast airs on Thursday. That's a great time to get in because Friday, Saturday, you start seeing the line move. Sunday, then you miss the number. So it's important for you to shop of your sports book. Caesars.
If you're playing one sports book,
let's play Caesars.
You're
Caesars.
really screwing yourself.
We like Caesars.
It doesn't cost anything. Caesars. It doesn't cost anything to open up a couple different sports books. A lot of promos going on right now. I mean, a half a point makes a huge difference in these NFL games.
That hook.
It's that hard way.
It's that hook. I mean, you can just get another email address, another Caesars account. You have 5 Caesars account. It's okay.
Yeah, that won't work. Trust me. They're pretty sharp there. That ain't gonna work. They're so good that you can't even have your fiance or something open up an account with the same IP address. So
we're just kidding, Caesars. We don't do that. We don't do that.
We don't promote that kind of stuff here.
We're all by the book here, above board. We don't do any of those shenanigans, but we do like Caesar. It's time for closing lines. This is our Cash It or Trash It weekly picks segment.
Right. I'm going to take in college football. I'm going with Cincinnati minus the 20.5 over Bowling Green. Simply going against the MAC conference. I do not think the MAC conference is cream of the crop this year, and Bowling Green falls into the bottom half of that category. I am also going to take UConn plus the 7. I'm taking Boston College plus 4.5 at Michigan State. And I'm going to take the over 53.5 in the Ole Miss Kentucky game for all the reasons we gave earlier in that competition. And then in the NFL, I will be taking the Browns plus 5.5. I'm going to be taking the Packers minus a 2.5 at home against Detroit. I'll be taking the Bears at home, Soldier Field plus 1.5. And I'll be taking the Chargers plus 3 against Kansas City.
All right.
Best of luck.
I like it. I like that UConn pick. I thought about that, but I like that UConn
pick. I think it may have come down to 6.5. I think they took some money. Get it at 7 if you can, but I would honestly take it down to 6 and take UConn at plus 6 just for those who can't get it at 7.
Yeah. I like that.
What do you got on your board?
All right. I got Michigan plus 4.5. Missouri laying 6.5. James Madison plus 14. Ole Miss minus 10. Giants plus 6. Dan Quinn 1-6 against spread season opener. Thought about playing the money line, but I like the Giants here to cover on the road, even though they are a terrible team. One little nugget here, if you're looking to still get a futures bet, I'm also going to play the Giants over 6.5 wins this year. I think it's too easy to play the under the win total. I believe I got Giants over 6.5 wins at plus 110. I like the Jags here minus 3.5 at home. I think Carolina is just complete trash. I just feel the Jags are way better than 3.5 against the Panthers. Chargers plus 3 here against Kansas City and Brazil. You and I both like the Chargers, so I think they cover there. I'm on the other side of that Packers game. I'll ride with Goff and 8-0 against the spread in season openers. And this little gem, Mike, I'm sure you'll like this one. You'll be sure to play this. The 6-point teaser. I locked it in at plus 240. So basically, if you do a 6-point teaser, if you tease it, tease the line down, basically the key to a teaser is you want to tease through the key numbers of 3, 6, and 7. So you get this here, Bengals at basically a pick'em, Broncos laying 2.5 at home, Eagles laying 2.5 if you're scared of the 8, 8.5, where that line ends up at, and then the Chargers are getting 9 on the road. That's plus 240-ish, depending on what book you're using.
Yeah, shop around to get your odds at sports books. Some will really rip you off with the teasers. Look for the best odds on those teaser bets, fellas.
Yeah, they have gotten worse with the vig on these teasers. It's really bad. But it's I don't know. If I get that wrong, that only counts as 1 loss, not 4, because it's a bundle. It's a bundle package there. So we're only going to count that once, because I'm going to fucking get it wrong, because I don't know. I'll probably lose like the Chargers game or so. I don't know. I'll lose. It'll be before the Denver game before the Denver game even starts. That thing will be in the garbage. So that's this week's Cash It or Trash It. See how we did. We'll recap my trashy picks next week in that lousy 6-point teaser that I have there. But we'll see. Hopefully it's a lot better than 50%. Maybe 51, 52. We'll just, as long as we're trending up, and we're good. Stay above the Mendoza line.
That's right.
But as long as we trend upward and onward. We're going to close
keep the ladies happy. Make sure you get off the couch at least once this weekend. Cut the grass, take the garbage out, do something. Otherwise, I could get it. It's going to be a couch surfing weekend for me, myself.
Oh, yeah. It starts tonight at the Eagles game. This a vegetative state on the couch. But that closes the sports book for this week. Those are the picks. We locked them in. Fade us, follow us. And Mike, what are you? You always say this so good.
Unsubscribe, subscribe again. Leave us a 5-star review. All that stuff is great. Helps our ratings. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, everybody.
Best of luck, fellas.
Thanks for tuning in to Off the Hook. If you're riding with the picks or fading them, hit subscribe and come back for more sharp takes and real action. See you next time.